Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Marvel Spider-Man Final Battle from No Way Home. It is set number 76261, comes with a total of 900 pieces even, including a total of 9 figures, holy smokes, and retails for $110. As you guys know, I have been trying to get a hold of this set since it first came out. It's just been so popular. It's kind of been hard to get a hold of. I even tried, if you watched my video of the opening of the Lego store in Meridian, Idaho, you know that this was the set I was originally planning to buy that opening day. But since the line was so long, it took me 3 hours just to get through the front door. All right. Since it had only just been recently released, as you can imagine, that set flew off right off the shelf, and it was probably gone within the first hour or so. So I had no chance of getting it. So I ended up getting the Lego Jurassic Park T-Rex Breakout, and the rest is history. But now it is finally in my collection. I could not be happier. Taking a look at the box art that you see, it's kind of absolute chaos going on. There's full battle going on. You can see the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man go try and get away from the Sandman. And Amazing Spider-Man is dealing with Electro. And Tom Holland Spider-Man is grappling with the Green Goblin. Speaking of which, up in the top left corner, you can see all three of our Spider-Man. Tom Holland Spider-Man, aka Peter 1. Tobey Maguire's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, aka Peter 2, and Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man, aka Peter 3. So it's full chaos in there. It's a full battle going on, and you can even see some of the multiverse rifts opening up in the sky, much like at the end of the movie. So yeah, the box art looks absolutely fantastic, and you got the full lineup of figures down here at the bottom. Taking a look at the back of the box, once again full chaos, and you can see a couple of hidden features in this set. Fortunately, this box is one of the ones with tape in it, so you don't actually have to damage the box. So let's go ahead and get this thing open. Come on. Ooh. There we go. There's 1 and 2. All right. All right. Let's see what all this box is packing. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's our instruction manual in a file folder. Makes me happy. And that's 6, 7, 8. Technically 7 bags of parts with 1 extra bag with all your weapon stuff. So, like I said, the instruction manual is in one of these Lego file folders. Once again, makes me happy. I have gotten quite a few instruction manuals where they should have been in a file folder, but they weren't. Of course, instead of one of the instruction manual has a somewhat CGI rendering of the set, which this one actually doesn't look too bad. Once again, an ad for paper bags in the set with no paper bags. And then we jump. Oh, got a little page showing how to use the brick separator. That doesn't show up all that often. And then we jump straight into the build. Got all our parts back here, and no ads for any other sets. Well, considering this was the only No Way Home set that came out at the time, I guess that's not too hard to believe. Alright, so I think this is going to be a rather long build. So we'll go ahead and jump into time-lapse for this set, starting right now. is done. That took about, I'd say, about 2 hours. Is a pretty decent and set build process. And come on, we are talking about 900 pieces here. So as usual, I will start off with the minifigures in the order that the set has you make them. And strangely enough, if you follow the instructions, the first minifigure is not one of the Spider-Man. It's actually the biggest and baddest big bad in the movie The Green Goblin, of course, complete with a pair of pumpkin bombs and his glider. For the minifigure, of course, this is based off of the Tobey Maguire movie. So you got plenty of green. You actually got a bit of metallic gray underneath with like all the buckles and stuff up on the front and even a little bit on the back as well. Plus a little nod to the purple jacket that May gives him. And take a look at the face. It looks pretty good with a pair of goggles. And he does have an alternate face with them off, with a face switch that very much reminds me of Willem Dafoe. The one thing I'm a little disappointed about with the figure is that they only give him a hairpiece. I can understand why they didn't give him like the classic Green Goblin mask, even though I would have loved to have seen that in this movie. That mask had been smashed for quite some time by the time this movie showed up. What I don't get is why they didn't, give him like the hood piece in purple. I mean, I seems like they kind of show it off on the back of the figure, but I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get a physical version of that because for the majority of the scene, with the exception of when he's fighting Peter One, he is wearing that hood. So yeah, I really don't understand why they didn't give us a hood piece. Other than that, pretty solid figure. Again, just wish they'd given us a hood piece. He does, as I said, he does have a couple of pumpkin bombs, which are about as simple as they get. There are a couple of minifigure headpieces in orange with some metallic, some transparent green on the bottom, and he does have a pretty simple glider. It's pretty solid. Looks pretty good. The interesting piece is for what they use for the exhaust for the glider. I think the one thing I wish they could have incorporated were the spikes that come out of the front for the glider. But it does looks like they have a couple of the two machine guns in the front. So yeah, pretty good minifigure, pretty solid glider. Next up, we have Tom Holland Spider-Man, Peter One, and I believe this is called the integrated suit. It's basically the Iron Spider suit, just black. There's a bunch of black in it instead of blue. I'm pretty sure this, if I remember right, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but if I remember right, this iteration of the suit came about after Doc Ock gave him the nanites back once his inhibitor chip was put back in place. But taking a look, it looks pretty good. You do have the usual MCU Spider-Man headpiece with the emoting eyes, you could say. Yep. But you get a good bit of metallic gold in both in the spider and the kind of belt. Also, even get a little bit of it in the legs, which are dual molded in black and red, and you get a little bit more of that metallic gold in the back, mirroring the front. And you can remove the head, and he does have a head without the mask. Facial expression looks pretty good. Let me see if I can get at an angle you can actually see. There we go. There we go. Oh, facial expression looks pretty good. Hairpiece looks pretty good, and he does have a secondary. See, there we go. There we go. He does have a secondary face, which is a little bit more scared, bit more worried. Maybe after seeing what the Green Goblin did to his mother, did to Aunt May. So pretty solid figure there. Next up, we have Dr. Otto Octavius, aka Dr. Octopus. This love the classic trench coat look, although I don't really remember the movie having it in gray. I thought I seem to remember it being in classic green, but you do have some metallic gray printing on the front where his arms attached to it, and much like you get not only in the Tobey Maguire movies, but in this movie as well. All the arms are detachable, and I will say I do love the designs for the arms for one specific reason. With the exception of these pieces supposed to be in the dark gray instead of the light gray, these arms are built the same way they were for the Spider-Man 2 Lego sets all the way back in the early 2000s. I love that little nod, that little homage to those Spider-Man 2 sets with Dr. Octopus. That is fantastic. He does have a secondary face, one where he's a much happier guy, probably when he's reunited with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and he does have a much more evil face back, probably back before he has his inhibitor chip replaced. The arms are attached instead of back with the usual Outrider attachment, but nice little nod. Once you take off the attachment, you can actually see where the arms attach to his back, and they're in metallic gray as well. So wonderful, wonderful figure, and then whoop, nice little homage to the classic Doctor Octopus. Next up, in the order that they were made, we have the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, aka Peter 3. Never in my lifetime did I think that we would get a Tom Holland Amazing Spider-Man figure that wasn't a Comic Con exclusive. But here we are, and he looks fantastic. Only really jump out here is that he's basically using the same headpiece as the Tom Holland Spider-Man. The rest of it is definitely Andrew Garfield's suit, especially with the oversized spider in the front and the back. Good printing all around, and again, dual molded legs. And much like the other Spider-Man, he does have a head that can be switched out. Hairpiece looks fantastic for Andrew, who as does the main facial expression, and he does have one a bit more muted as well. There we go. There we go. That's how that one looks. Again, wonderful, wonderful figure. Can't believe we actually got one that wasn't a Comic Con exclusive. Next up, we have Electro. I believe this is the same version that ended up in the Sandman Final Battle expansion, but it does look fantastic as well. Nice little touch of the electricity in the shape of his classic mask. His hairpiece looks pretty good. Lots of metallic gray printing on him, including that stolen arc reactor. And as you can see, he's got quite a bit of electricity going on. He's got a couple some smaller bolts coming out of his hands and much larger ones coming out of the back, which honestly I love compared to the No Way Home, the Sandman Final Battle set. They're much bigger, they're larger, probably more powerful, and I really like the piece used in them. Probably from Ninjago. I wouldn't be surprised if they even came from Chima. But again, looks really, really wonderful. And speaking of interesting piece uses, take a look at what they're using as little toppers for like the little holes or on top of the piece. Those are actually Infinity Mind Stone pieces that are used for the MCU Infinity Gauntlets. You actually get two sets. You actually get two sets of those in the set. One is the one that I used up, and again, you get a whole nother set of them as extras in the set. So again, interesting piece usage. But yeah, I really love that they went crazy with the electricity with this version of the figure. Next up, we have the last of the Spider-Man, the original, and many would still say is the best, the Tobey Maguire Peter 2 Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And again, never in my imagination would I think we would get another set with this version of Spider-Man, which really sucks for me because I was never able to get a hold of a single one of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man since sets back when they were coming out. I didn't have any disposable income. Spider-Man 1 came out in, what was it, 2001, 2002, so I was like 11, 12. So again, didn't have any disposable income. My only chance of getting those sets were like my birthday and Christmas, and I never got a single one of them. But again, here we are, and he looks fantastic. Plenty of metallic gray all around him. Not surprising there. The webs on his suit are far more prominent, and on the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man than they are on the other two. And again, now a bit more metallic gray on the back, and still the spiders on both the front and back look fantastic. And much like the other two, he does have both dual molded legs and a alternate head. Here we go. That's how he looks with his alternate head. Um, Nice little touch of that, like the little H lines on the side, where make him look like a little older. Not really sure about the hairpiece though. Interesting fact about that is that unlike the Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, his hairpiece is in a medium brown instead of the dark brown, so it's a bit lighter. And here his alternate face, a uh, there we go. There we go. There's his alternate face, a much angrier alternate face. I'll be honest, I almost feel like that would fit more Tom Tom Holland Spider-Man than it would Tobey Maguire. But again, wonderful that we finally get a return of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Next up, we have Doctor Strange. Hmm. A nice touch with the gray on the sides of his hair. The Eye of Agamotto is in a metallic gold, as is his sling ring in the back. Good printing all around. Of course, the cape is pretty easily removable. But there we go. Probably best if you don't have the head completely attached. There's his much angrier action ready face, Felicia, along with the print on the back of the torso. And he's got himself a couple of accessories. He's actually, of course, he's got those little magic rings attached to attached to his hands, but he also comes with the little case he makes to contain that magic spell that goes awry at the beginning of the movie. And yes, unfortunately, all those magic symbols on there are stickers. Unfortunately, I know I forgot to show off the sticker sheet in this set when I opened the box, but yes, there are stickers in this set. Not too many, to be honest, but there are a few. Next up, we have the man in the chair himself, Ned Leeds. Good choice for the hairpiece. Very much looks like his hairstyle. Though I'm not really sure about the skin tone. In my like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, so maybe it does match a bit better than I thought. But from my memory, according to my memory, it's a bit off. He does have a second, more muted face. He's uh torso print looks pretty good. It does have a little bit of metallic gray for where the clips for the jack attach, and of course you can attach the cloak of levitation to him, much like happens in the movie. Looks great. Looks pretty good. And finally, for our figures, we have MJ. It's a look. I'll give it that. Doesn't really look like Zendaya, but it looks pretty good. Like that, the hairpiece does look pretty good. Although I don't remember her hair getting that wild. But again, good printing on for both versions of the face of the face. This one kind of reminds me of the scene where she and Ned meet Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. She's like, do you have to think like where she threw the bread at him and asking if checking if he's got spider sense. Uh, Print on the on her sweater looks pretty good. Pretty good. Nothing too crazy going on with her. So those are all of your figures. All of them look either really good or just plain fantastic, and a wonderful figure selection at that. Let's go take a look at the main build now. And here is the main build. Of course, it's on the large black stand made out of quite a few of these 1/4 circular tiles. Oh, it looks like underneath pretty solid extension. Although you will notice that Lady Liberty's head ain't super attached. It does kind of wiggle around a bit, but it does look really good. Quite a few interesting piece usage in here, I must say. For example, Lady Liberty's eyebrows are minifigure sized hot dogs. Very interesting piece uses. Also, you notice the extensions of her crown. These pieces are normally used in Lego Star Wars sets, specifically Anakin Skywalker's pod racer. These are the control fins on those engines. Interesting piece usage. But there's a lot going on around here. You got scaffolding all around over here. You notice that there's a camera attached to one of the scaffolding via a web. Makes sense. At least two out of three of the Peter Parkers are photographers. So nice bit there. Got a little bucket over here, which I imagine is supposed to be filled with paint. Got a couple of generators, one of which has one of these minifigure action pose pieces. They were originally made for the Avengers Tower, but this set came out first, and they were like, you know what, these would be great for this set. Let's go ahead and throw them in anyway. So yeah, we actually got these pieces in this set first, even though they were designed for Avengers Tower. Swing it around again. You got the other generator, another action pose piece, a very large web. With I imagine this is supposed to be like a flashlight, but I don't know why it's red. Again, more scaffolding on the back. Along with, I believe that's either a hammer or an axe. And you actually got a little bit of a secret back here. You can open this up, and you can see a portal to the Sanctum Sanctorum, which looks fantastic. You get it looks very much like the building, especially the Legofied version of the building. Looks very much like that modular building-esque Sanctum Sanctorum, complete with the trees. Of course, you got the famous window. And take a look. You can see the sky is breaking apart, or much like you see in the movie, where it's like a whole bunch of portals opening up, with every character who knows who Peter Parker is, Spider-Man, is getting ready to basically invade the MCU. So yeah, very cool little touch there. The door doesn't like close all the way. Like there's nothing like attaching the door to the back of Lady Liberty's head. It's just kind of sitting there. And if you guys notice, it can get a little misaligned. Next up, we got another large scaffolding, probably the largest one, and we have another portal here as well. And there's also a couple other details, like you'll notice this, like here with these 1x2, 1x3, and 1x4 tiles. They all have stickers with a whole bunch of riveting. and you can even see some in Lady Liberty's cheeks here. Again, bunch of riveting, and here on the top of the crown, again, a whole prints stickers with a whole bunch of rivets. And speaking of secrets, this whole thing can pop up top, and you can see Sandman's hand hidden in there, along with a whole bunch of sand. In fact, you notice there's a bunch of sand brown pieces all over the place. He's just showing you that the sand for Sandman is literally everywhere. Or in fact, you can even kind of make out Sandman's hand through the crown on Lady Liberty's head. So a lot of detail going on here. Or kind of repetitive a bit, especially when it comes to the scaffolding. But other than that, it makes for a wonderful display piece. Plus, with all the action pieces, you can definitely throw on a whole bunch of figures. Like, for example, let's see, let's go ahead, throw Doc Ock over here. There we go. There we go. Very useful for the hands. I think I'll have MJ over here, like taking her big fall. Come on. There we go. There we go. MJ's over here taking her big fall. So let's go ahead and have Andrew Garfield getting ready to jump after her. Come on. Here. There you go. Oop. Jeez. Come on, Peter 3. Work with me. There we go. Okay, now he's attached. Let's go ahead, pop. Gotta be on here. Of course, we do have the portal openings. We'll have Doctor Strange up there. There we go. We'll have Ned sitting here up top. Hey, he's got the cloak of levitation. He could definitely get up there. Alright. There we go. There's Tom. Electro probably look good up here. And where should we have Toby? Here we'll have him back. Actually, let's have him facing the other way. Ready to go out there. All right, Electro. And speaking of those spiders, they do have a bunch of the web pieces for those spiders for them to have a little more action. So yeah, once you throw in all the figures, this thing really, really comes to life. If it looks just fantastic. I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this. Tell me this doesn't look awesome. Tell me that doesn't look awesome. So, at $110, this is a really fun display piece. It is very much a display piece. There aren't a whole lot of play features going on, but it looks really cool. It's a fun little addition to the MCU. And let's face it, it was the No Way Home set we all wanted. So, and with the figure count, I mean, we're talking about we got 3 Spider-Man, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Doctor Strange, Electro, Ned, and MJ. 900 pieces, 9 figures. That's fantastic. Especially for a licensed set for $110. That is, it's just fantastic. It's a wonderful. You definitely get your money's worth of minifigures out of the set for $110. So I gotta say, it's fantastic. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. And before we go, I did say when I got this guy, the No Way Home Sandman expansion, I would show you how to incorporate that into your set. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So first off, we can get rid of the extra Tom Holland Spider-Man. We don't need that. Actually, we're actually going to need to remove Ned, because first off, get rid of that, because that's where Sandy's going to go. So, whoop. So, we go ahead and put Ned there. Next up, you detach the Sandman hand, because, again, that's where Sandman goes. So, pop him out. Ooh. Alright, so let me move his arms around a bit. There, okay. Ooh. Pretty sure there's like a... You know what? Oop. Let me move that clip as well. There we go. Okay. Move that hand. And come on. I'm sure. Here, Joe, move out of the way. And let's see if I can get him to attach properly. I'm sure there's a sweet spot in here somewhere. Come on. Wait. No, that... Okay, come on. Probably should have tested this before putting it in. Maybe I need to take one more piece out of here. Where's a brick separator when you need one? Here we go. There we go. Okay, that's out. Now, let's see if I can get him in there now. There we go. All right, he's in. So, you do need to take a couple of pieces out, but he does fit in there. He does have to be on his side, but again, he is in there. So, next up, we take this piece of scaffolding here, and that attaches... Go. That attaches right there. There's your second portal, and there is the lizard. Aha! Now we have at least all the villains in here. Of course, that means I need to put in Electro somewhere else. Getting crowded in here. Maybe that's why they provided an Electro with small electricity. Again, tight fit. And finally, take this piece of scaffolding, and let me... Let's see. I believe... like I said, this is going to be a tight fit. Here. I believe this guy goes here. There we go. That works. And there we go. Whew. Okay. Well, not the most stable place for that, but it's what they show in the picture. Here, let's get rid of that. And I want a Power Blast piece, because they do provide those. Come on, there we go. Ooh, jeez. I'm telling you, this is where they showed they put that in the picture. All right, and as for Electro, here, let's see if we can. There we go. Let's just slap him on Sandman's arm, because why not? Okay, there we go. Oh, uh-oh, Gummy fell off. Fortunately, that's an easy one. Just slide it back into the generator. There we go. Okay. Woo! Wow! That's crowded. But that's $150 worth of Spider-Man sets, all squeezed into one place. Oh boy, that was nuts. But again, just looking at it like this, I tell you, the look on this thing just makes it all worth it. It's a bit of a pain to make it so you can fit all your figures in one place. And so, like, you can see them all. I still can't even see Doctor Strange because Sandman's in front of him. But yeah, this thing looks fantastic. $150, I would say, well spent. So that is my full review on this set. Thanks for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. You can check out some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I will see you all in the next video. And you definitely want to keep an eye out on the channel, because beginning November, I'm doing what is probably going to be the craziest video on this channel yet. Later, everybody!